Alright, YouTube. If you don't want to grind your own player, and you want to have a player fully badged out, any overall, hit up my boy Sports TNB. His Twitter link will be at the top of the description. DM him, tell him Quil sent you, and he will hook you up with any my player, any overall fully badged out you want. Like I said, tell him Quil sent you, and he will hook you up. I'm out, and enjoy the video.
It be around me cause I don't trust a soul, yeah. Niggas switching up on they bros, yeah. Changing up for these hoes, yeah. That's why I don't fuck around, ayy. Smoking up dope out the zip.
Alright, YouTube. It's Quii TNB coming back at you with the new video, and as you can see from the title and thumbnail, this is game 2 of the WR tournament that I uploaded game 1 of a few days ago. If you didn't watch that video, make sure you check that video out before you watch this. That was a 2-point game with about 30 seconds left, maybe even less. It was a super close game. I'll leave the link to it. I'll leave the link to that video in the description below. Just click on it if you want to watch that video. Like I said, super intense game. And this right here is game 2 of that against this team Untamed, which a lot of people, like I said at the time, were saying this was the team to beat on Xbox. This was the best team on Xbox. So that they ended up matching us up against them in the first round. Two teams that were considered 2 of the best, and I mean it didn't disappoint. As you see, this game came down to the last 30 seconds too. It was a 2-point game. The last play, something crazy happened on the last play of the game. Make sure you stick around and watch the end of the 4th quarter, because it gets pretty crazy what happened. You won't believe it in game. I would put our reaction to it, but the last video, as I said, there was only me and Saver. Us two were the only 2 that had our audio included. And in the future, we're gonna try and get everyone to have their audio included. There might be like 1 person, maybe 2 people that don't have it if they forget, but me, Saver, Kai will all have our audio included from now on. So I'm just gonna talk over this game, and like I said, this game gets super crazy in the 4th quarter. Towards the end, something crazy happens. I would put our reaction to it, but I don't have it anymore. So you can see in the beginning, at the beginning of the 4th quarter, it was pretty much a stalemate tie game. It's the end of the 4th here. Kai's a little behind the back, move into him, but it's fine. That was a big and one. We just gave up because, as you can see, they only had 9 points, and we only have 7 points. Neither team right now can score. This is a game full of defense right here. Neither team can score. We tried get a quick fast break back to ourselves, but it didn't work. And the thing about Pro-Am this year, that if you guys play Pro-Am, or if you guys want to try and get into Pro-Am, one thing that is, I feel like, the most important thing about Pro-Am this year is defense and fast breaks. If you miss a shot, you better get back, because if you don't, good teams will punish you. They will run on the fast break. That lockdown, or whoever's playing the top of the key, will sprint down the other side of the court, and they will get free buckets. And that's how a lot of these top teams end up beating like newer teams and teams that aren't as experienced. All they do is they play good defense, they force turnovers, and they score on fast breaks. And that's just what the best teams do. That's how they that's why it's so hard to beat them, because of their defense. Offense in this game, yeah, it's hard, and I feel like we are one of the better offensive teams. We have 2 ball handlers that can score. So if you only have 1 lock, then I mean, we'll just give it to the other one, they'll score. And then we have a lockdown that has great defense. We have a pure stretch that can shoot over people, that can get himself open off ball, and then I mean, we have a center that airballs. But like I said, I feel like we're one of the best offensive teams. And early in the 2nd quarter right here, game 2, we get a good steal. Kai gets a good steal up there, tips the ball into him, which is another thing. These inbounds, they're OP this year, just like they were 2K17. And yeah, we're up 2 points early 2nd quarter. We're going on a run. He's getting ankle breakers. And one thing that Untamed did this game that they didn't do last game, the one adjustment they made is they put Larry, their center, on ball. They put him on Kai. They kept the lock on Saver. And the thing about Larry is he's not just a center. He's not a lockdown. He's a rim protector first, sharp second, power forward. So that's not the best build to guard ball, but I guess they felt like it was he was gonna do better on ball this game than whoever guarded him last game. And I mean, it was working out. He had a lot of turnovers, but I feel like I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he shot the same as he did last game, and he He just finished with more turnovers. That's the only difference. So I feel like it didn't really make that big of a difference. But like I said, they were doing exactly what we were doing on defense. They just put their lockdown on Saver, and we put me, who's our lockdown, on Peroxide. Now, Peroxide has been, he was killing people before like this game, right? He was on this pure shot creator. That's his build, 6'8", and he was going crazy. So we felt like that if we shut him down, we were gonna win. And as you can see, look at the score. We had only about 26 points at halftime, which isn't great, but I mean, look at them. They had 19 points, and all I was doing was standing in the corner on Peroxide. Saver and Kai and Drake did a great job on guarding the pure sharp, on Kina, their point guard, and the center. They did a great job of guarding the pick and pop, the pick and roll, and that pure sharp. Because one thing about this 2K as well is pure sharps are kind of OP. A pure sharp, if they're just running around trying to get open, they get that little bit of space, it's gonna be green. A good pure sharp is really, really hard to guard in Pro-Am, and all these top teams, they're pure sharp. They can get themselves open, and if they're open, they're not going to miss. So you see, beginning of the third quarter, we went on a run. We were up about 9 points, and right here, we're getting to the end of the fourth quarter, and we're still up 9, right? So it was pretty much a stalemate in the third. We went on a run early, and then after that, it just went a stalemate. We were scoring, they were scoring, it just went back and forth. Right there, our centers, you see, he is a sharp first rebounder. He is a rebounding first, sharp shooting second, and I mean, I don't know, the guy can't shoot. So I guess he made a new build. Hopefully he can shoot on this build, but as you can see, this game is starting to get good. We're about to get into the fourth quarter, which, like I said, they start to come back in the fourth quarter. They bring it down to a 2-point game, and then something crazy happens. So stay tuned if you want to see that. But as you see, we have Drake and Kai guarding them right now, and all they were doing this whole time was switching. We felt like Drake, he's a 7-foot power forward playing the center, because we feel like that build is faster. It gets better animations, has better defense. So all they were doing was switching the pick and roll. Since Kai's 6'9", he can pick up on the center and play the passing lanes. But this was before they like really nerfed the passing lane, because I guess that the passing lanes are completely ruined now. They ruined the passing lanes, and it's way harder to get a steal. But you can see the beginning of the fourth quarter, we start folding, throwing turnovers, missing shots, letting them score. They bring it down to a 6-point game early. So a 6-point game, 4 minutes left in the fourth, and we end up getting a stop right there. He goes out of bounds. This is starting they're starting their comeback right here. We gotta either start scoring, start locking up. Something's gotta change, else we're gonna lose this game. You can see we give it to Kai because he doesn't have the lock on them, but they tried running the lock to Kai. So we get an open shot up top, but Juan misses, and they get a wide open fast break, but he blew it. He got the worst layup animation you can get. I've gotten those animations before. There's nothing you can do about it. You think you have a dunk or a layup, and your guy just randomly fades away from the hoop and does a floater. And as a pure lockdown, which that was, you're not going to hit that a lot of the time. You are not going to hit that shot. So we give the ball to Saver. They switched the pure lock onto Kai. So we said, all right, Saver, it's your turn to work. They have Peroxide, their pure shot creator, on it. He tries hitting Juan, but you can see they catch it 4 seconds. He throws it in the paint. We get a lucky standing dunk. I don't know how he didn't get that pass. His X might have been off cooldown. It's a new feature they added, but you can see we get a 2. They come right back down and they hit a 3. It's a 5-point game, 3 minutes left. It's going to come down to the wire. They put the lock on Kai, so all we're going to do now is give the ball to Saver, right? Whoever the lock is on, you're just going to spot up. Take the lock completely out of the game. That build is, you guys will see, when you see a top lock play, it's broken. As you can see, Saver does that was a great move. That Curry size up, I have that on my shot maker too. That move is crazy, and he killed him, got a green, pulled it to a 8-point game. We're super confident at this point. We have so much, I don't know, we're hyped right now, up 8. As you can see, their sharpshooter has his Grand Badger, his takeover. And the sharpshooter takeover is the most overpowered takeover in the game, but they get an offensive rebound, kick to their lock. He hits a 3, 5-point game again. We get a 3, they get a 3. We get a 3, they get a 3. We're just going back and forth. They're trying to full court press us, trying to get us to throw turnovers, get them free points. But that's one thing that we figured out. We don't really get a lot of turnovers full court anymore. We had a problem with that early, but we figured it out. So you see, the Lox is trying to play in the middle, so we find it. We find where he is. We get him off ball, and Saber throws it to our center, and he's a... No, he didn't. Let's watch that back. No. Let's watch that back. Did he just... Oh my god. One more time. He caught it, stood there. Well, I can see why he made a new build, fellas. I can see why he made a new build. But anyway, back to the game. We got to stop. 5-point game, a minute 50. He hits Kai up top, gets the lock out of the play once again. Look, they don't know what to do. They have they do not know what to do when we find a way to get the lock out of the play. And I end up hitting that 3 right there. It was white. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was light contest. It is half dimer, which is why I think it went in. But look at an 8-point game with a minute and a half remaining, and they get that 3. That was a really, really big 3 to bring them back into the game. We get a stop right there. The game is pretty much over. So now we're up 5. And look at, we throw a horrible turnover. They could score here, but we ended up getting the stop. We play great passing lane defense, and we call a timeout. We're not having none of that. That was crazy, but then look at what Saver does. Oh my god, he catches it and goes back court. That is huge. That is huge. 5-point game, a minute 23 remaining. Their point guard has the ball, bringing it up. Now running pick and roll. They try setting an off-ball screen for their Sharp. He has the open dunk, passes it out to his Sharp who is wide open. That's what I'm talking about. If a point guard penetrates, a lot of the time, their Sharp is just going to be running around open up top. And it'll work. You see, I'm wide open in the paint. I'm wide open in the paint. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Our point forward just took a 3 with me wide open in the paint. Up 2, 55 seconds left. They have the ball. That is crazy. That is crazy. This is their pure Sharp. He has the ball. Our center's guarding him, and look at what he does. One of the new mechanics in 2K19. He ends up dribbling into his center screen, which makes him lose the ball. Our ball up 2. 44 seconds left. They're trying to double team, put pressure on our ball handler, and he showed great patience right there. That's one big thing about the end game situations. You got to be patient. You can't freak out. That's what he did there. They ended up fouling. We're in the bonus, so we're gonna he's gonna hit both these free throws, go up 2, and it's gonna be their ball. 37 seconds left, down 4. They call a timeout. A stop here pretty much seals the game. So their point guard drives in, looks for the mid, pass it to their center, who gets an open layup. 26 seconds left. 24 seconds on the shot clock, up 2. At this point, I don't know, it's up to your team. You can either foul, you can try and get them to throw a turnover, which is what they did. Look at, they were trying to double team, get them to throw it. Kai showed great patience here, held on to the ball. They won't rip you if you're in LT. They won't rip you. They were banking on us to miss. 3 seconds on the shot clock. 2, 1 to our stretch. No, they didn't. He clicked extra the passing lane, and he ended up giving him an and 1-3, up by 6, 4 seconds left. That is game. That is game. We ended up 2-0ing them in this tournament. GG's to them. Like I said, people were saying they were the #1 team, and then we ended up beating them. Beat them by 6 this game. I think we beat them by 4 the other game.